In this video, I want to share my absolute least favorite things about baby-led weaning, but why they're also really important. Let's get real about the mess. I know some parents, I have a cousin in particular, he's on his third baby, and he's like, I can't handle baby-led weaning. The mess is way too much. You guys, getting messy is an important part of learning how to eat. The whole point of learning how to eat is not about like how much of the food actually goes in your baby's stomach. Like down the road, when we get like past age 1 and most of their nutrition is coming from food, yeah, that matters. But early on, your baby needs ample time to learn how to eat. And learning how to eat is a full sensory experience. Your baby touching the food, smashing the food, bringing the food up to their hand, putting it in their ear, their hair, whatever. That is all part of this full sensory experience that is learning how to eat. I would really encourage you not to wipe your baby while they are learning how to eat. This can be a very negative sensory experience for the baby. Like, how would you feel if you were trying to learn how to eat oatmeal and this lady was like attacking you with a wet wipe? Let your baby get messy. You're practicing that open cup drinking and they're bringing the cup to their mouth and a little bit of it dribbles down the side of their mouth. Don't go wiping their face up right away. Your baby needs to experience that slightly uncomfortable feeling. And the next time they pick that cup up or pick that food up, they're gonna make a slight micro adjustment in order to not feel that uncomfortable. And one day, I promise you, trust me, you're going to wake up and you're gonna look at the floor and be like, oh my gosh, there's no food on the floor. It's all ending up in their mouth. But your baby needs lots of time to learn how to do that. So get comfortable with the mess. I do suggest putting a splash mat underneath the high chair so that if your baby drops food on the clean splash mat, you can pick it up and recycle it back up to the table. This can help minimize the mess, but please remember, the goal is not to prevent the mess. We can do some things to minimize the mess, but let your baby get messy. That is part of the full sensory experience that is learning how to eat. The next thing that drives me wild about starting solid foods with baby-led weaning is how incredibly slow it is at first. Your baby needs lots of time and space to learn how to eat. Think about it. You're starting out at 6 months of age with this baby where all of their nutrition is coming from infant milk. And 6 months later, at the 12-month mark, most of their nutrition can be coming from food. Okay, this does not happen overnight. I have parents who like on the second day are like, oh, they're not eating anything. I'm totally gonna quit this. Like, you're gonna quit trying to help your baby learn how to, you can't. It's a very slow process. So please, please, please give your baby a lot of time. We try solid foods 1 to 2 times a day, starting at 6 to 7 months of age. And your baby can sit there for 15 or 20 minutes. We had a baby the other day at the 18-minute mark on the first day of food, he touched the avocado. Okay, most people would have given up by then. And I'm not saying you need to sit in the chair all day long with your baby, but please let them have the time and the space that they require to learn how to eat. Even if you think nothing is happening, oh my gosh, I made this baby lamb and he didn't eat any of it. The baby might have touched the lamb. The baby might have squeezed the lamb. The baby might have picked the piece of lamb up and brought it to their mouth and sucked on it. Okay, we're not concerned about how much they eat right off the bat because breast milk and or formula is still providing the majority of your baby's nutrition when they start solid foods. Back up, give your baby the space and the time, and trust me that by 12 months of age, most of their nutrition can be coming from food. At the 8 or 9 month mark, we bump the meals up to 2 to 3 times a day. By 10 months of age, I love to see your baby eating 3 times a day. Then by 12 months of age, they're eating modified versions of the same foods the rest of your family is eating. But that's like a 6-month runway, okay? So give your baby the time that they need. I know it's annoying that it's slow, but it's worth it to wait. Another thing that kind of gets my goat about baby-led weaning is that for whatever reason, this interesting little niche of the parenting space has a very, very bad reputation of being an incredibly judgmental approach. I remember when I was starting out baby-led weaning with my quadruplets, at that time, this was 2016, there were lots of resources about what baby-led weaning was, but nothing that actually showed me how to make the food safely. So in my program, Baby-Led Weaning with Ferraro, I created the exact program that I wish I had when I was starting solid foods about how do I make all of these foods. There's these terrible Facebook groups with thousands of people just telling you what you shouldn't do and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't feed that. My approach as a dietitian specializing in baby-led weaning has always been, let's focus on all of the foods that babies can eat. So if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm just thinking all these things my baby shouldn't eat, focus on all the foods that your baby can eat. There's 100 different foods on my original 100 First Foods list that your baby can learn how to eat. I know there's a lot of conflicting information out there about how to make food safe and which foods babies can eat. But one thing I would always encourage you is to make sure that you're getting your feeding information from a credentialed feeding expert who specializes in starting solid foods. Every video that I put out for you here is written by me, a registered dietitian who specializes in this. I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that you can get notified every time we do put out a new video. And please continue to focus on all of the foods that your baby can eat. If you want to grab a copy of that original 100 First Foods list, I give it away to everybody for free on my online video workshop called Baby-Led Weaning for Beginners. I'll link that in the description. And even if you don't like some of the things about starting solid foods, at the end of the day, you got to feed this kid for the next 17 and a half years of their life. And the research shows that baby-led weaning is a safe and effective alternative to conventional adult-led spoon feeding. If you want your baby to actually like real food, teach them how to eat real food from their first bites. You can do it.